feel like all nurses have experienced paranormal activity whilst working in hospitals, so I'd like to share some of mine. During night shifts, we were always supposed to set the empty beds for the new patients the next day. I walked into one of the empty bays and walked past the TV. It turns on its own, which made me jump, but I figured I'd just ignore it and turn it off. As I'm walking back after I'm done, I mentioned something aloud like, "Thanks, but I'm done and I'm leaving," to the other staff member, after which the TV just turns itself back on again. And it still freaks me out thinking about it. As well as that, I've had plenty of instances with weird sounds, doors opening and closing on their own, and patients seeing other people or shadows in their rooms. Like this one time I had a pre-terminal patient laying awake in her bed at night, and when I went up to her to ask if she was tired, yet she mentioned she couldn't go to sleep because of all the guests that were disrupting her. Apparently she saw all kind of people standing around her bed talking all sorts of nonsense to her. That's not the worst part though. One night she mentioned to me that we need to stop letting the deaf man shout at her because he kept trying to take her away and steal her ears. We didn't think much of it, and I reassured her he wouldn't be coming back, even though no one had entered her room in months apart from the staff. Skip forward 2 weeks later, as I'm sat writing this story. I come onto the shift after having a few days off, and I heard some sad news that the lady in that room had passed away, but that wasn't the only bad news. Apparently before she passed, she did actually lose her hearing, was in excruciating pain and wouldn't stop covering her ears, repeating,
"He took them from me,"
before passing an hour later. Maybe it wasn't nonsense after all.